What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the live stream. Trying to get back in my consistent groove on this. This week, I'm going to condense the nonsense, get right into it. I'm going to talk about what I use, what equipment I use, I guess, equipment and software. I don't know how engaging this is going to be, but I talk about what equipment and software I use to handle this live stream business and basically get to a point where I can post at least short clips of things I'm working on a pretty like almost a daily basis if I wanted to. So that's what I have on today's episode. Stick around. I will get to y'all after the intro. Peace. All right, we're back. So I'm gonna jump right into it because I know I've had some requests about what stuff I actually use to try to make this thing jump. And so the reality is I don't really have a ton of different things I use. I like to keep my studio setup kind of small and minimalist. I don't like to use that word, but I try not to add too much stuff on top of it. And so I need something that I can tear down and set up on the go. The camera you can't see right now is the one that I'm using right now. That is my old workhorse. I bought this Sony A6500. I bought this probably about 5-6 years ago. It was pretty new at the time when I grabbed it. I got it for $1,500. You probably can get it around 800. Gives you professional quality. There are videographers that still use these. I know that they've had recent generations that have come out in A6000 line, basically. But this is a small mirrorless camera. Gives you a 4K signal. Basically, it's a 6K sensor that down samples to 4K, so you get a little bit more depth. It's still only 8-bit color, and so when I look to upgrade, I'm probably going to upgrade to something with 10-bit color, so that as I take on more professional jobs, I can push the color around a little bit and do some more advanced color grading. But this camera has been my absolute workhorse. Right now, I'm using it to stream, but more often than not, I want to use it to capture video and stuff if I have a tripod or something for it to sit on. Since the stabilization isn't that great, I normally have to keep it on a tripod or monopod because it jumps all over the place. But I've retired this big camera because it's a lot to carry around, and I've opted for this. I actually bought this for my wife for Christmas, and I've kind of hijacked it. This is a Sony ZV-1. This is nice because as opposed to the A6500, it actually has a little flip out screen, so you can record yourself. You can actually see yourself. This one, it has a flip out screen, but the screen doesn't flip around. And so you only can really see the screen if you're standing behind the camera. There are attachments that you can buy so that in mirrors, little cheap mirrors that you can put on the top so that you can actually see the screen and frame yourself. But the reason why I had to move away from the 6500 as a camera to record myself is because I can't see myself unless I have it plugged into a computer. But in terms of what you get with this camera, you get a lot of really good features in it. Remember, it's a little bit older, so it doesn't have the latest sensor technology. It doesn't have Sony's latest color science and stabilization stuff. But if you're looking for a used camera body to buy just to get started, this is one I can recommend. Now, the ZV-1 has some features that allow you to connect it right to your computer if you want to. And not have to use the next thing I'm going to talk about, which is a capture card. You don't really have to use that stuff to get a signal from the camera to the computer and vice versa. So there's some benefits in having this. Now, with this one, there's a successor to it where you get a higher frame rate, where you can actually use this to fully sub out your webcam and get really good depth of field, and it looks really professional. It can really punch up your Zoom calls if you need it. So, but this one I'm holding right now, the ZV1, you probably can get it used, and I can start pulling these up, but you probably can get it used for about 500-600 bucks. Probably even less than that, since this had, I think, 2 updates since I bought it. I paid about 700 bucks for it when we got it. And this little camera has been a beast for me. It works really well. It does a lot of things that the big camera can do. You know, now from focal length and stuff that you get from a good lens, you don't exactly get it with this little camera here, but this is a point and shoot. So it's meant for you to pull out of your pocket, shoot what you need to, and put it back in your pocket. Now, from video, because this is primarily what I use it for video, I can get 4K footage, 60 frames a second. I think it goes up to 120 if I'm not sure, for sports things and slow-mo and stuff. It's kind of a beast, but more times than not, when you see me on a live stream, you're looking at this one. You're looking at this camera here. But I had to take it off the tripod and use my other camera to show you. So that's what I use. The software I'm using right now to record all this stuff is StreamYard. And the thing that, and I'm grabbing stuff to show you as I go along. The thing that makes StreamYard really kind of a dope interface to use is I can stream to multiple platforms from one dashboard. And so right now I'm going to a couple of different Facebook pages that I've started, LinkedIn profile, and my YouTube channel. It all captures all of it. And it's really useful because now StreamYard can extract, you can either extract audio, you can extract the video, you can do both, and quickly download it and use your favorite video editor, chop it up into pieces, and reuse it like that. So I like StreamYard. And I want to preface a lot of this by saying, I didn't say this was the inexpensive or this is the free setup. You're going to have to spend a little bit of money to get to this point. But you don't have to have all these pieces in place. If you get a high quality webcam, and they're starting to get to a point where some of the webcams are starting to mimic a little bit of the mirrorless camera stuff, you can have a high quality webcam and a decent mic and not have to come out of a ton of money for it. And so it's not really that hard to get started, but it's just figuring out what your budget is to do this stuff. Because I've seen plenty of people that just use their phone to live stream, and you can do that too. That's not normally my setup. I normally keep my notes on my phone, so I had to have other implements to do that. So we have the cameras, and we've talked about capture cards. Capture cards are devices that you use to connect cameras to computers. Now, they're getting to a point where you don't really need capture cards as much. You don't have to buy a capture card to do it. But if you want to connect a more fancy camera to a computer, basically it sends a signal to your computer that that camera is actually a webcam. And so, capture cards have really come up. The price point of them is pretty good. I bought this first one. This is my first capture card that I bought. This is a My Pen. I bought this for like 60 bucks. And this was my workhorse. This one did a lot of my capturing, and it did really well for my home office setup. And so I normally keep this one when I have multiple cameras set up, and I use this one for my other camera if I have guests or something. And so, this was 60 bucks to get started, and I found it on Amazon. It's called My Pen. I know that they have a bunch of different My Pen ones, and there's a lot of different little, Chinese made ones that are knockoffs. They work just as well too. Really, this is the one I can recommend. I can recommend this one, and I can recommend the industry standard, more or less. A lot of people use the Cam Link. And so that's what I'm using on my computer right now to live stream this. The Cam Link is a little bit of a step up in the video quality. If you're pixel peeping, you can kind of tell that it's a little bit better than this one. But for getting started, you can utilize this and a camera that you have sitting around the house. And I think, if not mistaken, you can use a capture card with a smartphone. I haven't really tried it yet, but I think you probably can. And there are other ways to capture video on the smartphone for live streaming. And really, a smartphone is a fantastic live streaming device in and of itself. You're going to want something to hold up your phone or camera. And so I can't show you the tripod this is sitting on, but I bought this little zoomy cheap tripod. Got it like 7 years ago. I spent like maybe 20, $30 on it. And it's a pretty good little tripod. I hadn't had any major issues on it, and it holds my camera up pretty well. I mean, it's right here. I also bought this Siri one, and so this is a 2-for-1 thing I'm gonna show you. So I bought this Siri one right here. And this is like my little small extendo tripod. It's a selfie stick tripod combo. And so you can definitely use it as a selfie stick to hold a phone. But you can also utilize it as a regular tripod for a small camera. Now, what you're seeing on here is the light I was talking about. I think I was talking about it last week. This light is great. And it is a little aperture MC light. I got it for $90. You can buy an array of them, an array for different prices or whatnot, and get more of them. The reason why this light is dope is because I can really take this light and match any source. So it can be almost a backup light, because I got a couple of other lights around here that are feeding it. And I'll tell you what the lights are. I can't exactly show you what they are, but this little light has been a game changer, and it's a professional quality light. If you can look on the back, it has 2 magnetic strips on it so that you can stick it to a wall or something, or if you have something with metal in it, you can stick it there and it holds its place. The thing that makes this dope is I, using my phone, can change the color of this light to match whatever I need it to be. I don't know if you can really tell on camera, but as you can see, it's green, it's red, it's blue, and you can pretty much go through the whole gamut of colors that are available. Or I can point it at a source to give me a little bit more depth. I can click source match and point it at a source and get it to, so right now it's red. I'm pointing this at my main light here, and you'll see it change. So it's red right now. I can get it to match the source, and now it's the exact match of this light I have over here. Aperture MC, it cost me about $99, but it's really worth it because it's a nice portable light. I've taken it on when I did some food photography for a restaurant. I took it with me, and it gave me a good source of light to utilize just to give me a little bit more depth when I'm photographing the food. But I mean, I can use it if I have an overhead light or something and it's causing a shadow, I can go ahead and take a picture of it, and now it matches the overhead light. And so it can match any light source that you point your camera at and tell it to match. I utilize it to offset the shadow because there's one side of my office that doesn't get a ton of light. And so I just use it to offset the shadow and mimic my big light up here so that I can have, so I don't have this shadow cast on my face. And so I'll be honest with you, if you're getting into live streaming, you're getting into recording content, your light is the thing you spend the most time with. And so you want to make sure that when you are recording, you have a good source of light. If you don't have an amazing source of light, the best light you can find is going to a window that's facing the sun, opening that window, setting yourself in front of the window so the sun can shine on your face, and then putting your camera in front of you. You're going to get some of the best light you're going to find. Now, it depends on time of day and a lot of other stuff. And if you're shooting short form, it's fine. But if you're going like hours, that sun is going to start setting, and you're going to have to reposition pretty frequently. But if you're looking for an inexpensive light source, you can do that. I know there's plenty of thrift stores out here that have like lamps and things like that. Any light helps. And so any light that you can find, any source of light that you can find before you upgrade to actual studio lights will be beneficial for you. What you don't want to do is you don't want to get into not having unlit stuff, because unlit stuff changes the way that you look on camera. It can add years to your face. It could almost make your video unwatchable. And so you want to have lighting. The two most important things when it comes to recording a video for a live stream is going to be your audio and your lighting. The other things camera quality and frames per second and all that stuff. Those are nice bells and whistles, and they feel okay. But the reality is, you don't really need to worry about all that stuff. I can explain to you that when it comes to shooting, frame rates and stuff, you typically, when you're shooting with different cameras and stuff, 24 frames per second is what most movies are shot in. Most movies you've watched in the theater are 24 frames a second. They're starting to bump it up to 60 frames per second, and but you don't see a ton of those. It's more 24 frames a second, and so that's what your eye's accustomed to. Social media content is 30 frames per second, and so that's what you normally see on like YouTube and things like that. That's kind of the standard. 60 frames a second mixes in there. So you might see more sporting content shot at 60 frames a second and up. That's just because that gives you the ability to slow down footage and do slow motion stuff. And so that's what it helps out with that kind of stuff. And so it's really, understanding how these different things work. Normally, if you're doing 30 frames a second on whatever camera you're using, you're doing pretty well. You don't really have to worry about a lot of other things. So I'm looking for the specific light I bought for my studio light so I can show you what I purchased. And I'm not having a ton of luck with that one. So if I find the brand name, I'll post it in the show notes or comment with it so that you guys can have a link for it and see what it looks like. But my main studio light didn't cost a ton of money because you can spend thousands of dollars on, diffusers and studio lights and things like that. Oh, here it is. So what I got was a GVM 80 watt LED video light. And that light sits on a stand. And so what I'll do is I'm going to share my screen so you can see it. The price has jumped a lot since I bought it. I'll be honest with you. Is that a Pixel 6 or 7? This is a Pixel 6. I would like to have a Pixel 7, but right now Pixel 6 is what's in my budget. And it's handled. It's done everything I asked it to do, so I don't have a problem with it. I'm an Android guy. Just because I like to swap out operating systems and really kind of tinker with the phone aspect of things. And so, it gives me a flexibility. If I want to put a new operating system on it, I can, a custom ROM or whatever, and put it on here, and gives me other things that I want to do. So let me show you the light here. I'm gonna share my screen here and show you the light that I was talking about. All right, so my studio light is this one that you see. I purchased it, a while ago. GVM. We had to get a replacement for one of them just because we were moving the studio, stuff got misplaced and stuff like that. And so, but this light has handled pretty much every shoot that I've had. I can use it as a single light source. I can use it with other cheaper lights. I bought a newer panel LED light. I can show you guys that one. But this one is pretty good, and it's actually a pretty reasonable price for what you get, where you got the stand and some diffuser stuff and things like that. So you can actually really, really utilize it. It doesn't make it, I don't have any fan noise that sometimes you'll get fan noise with, to be honest with you, with specific lights. And so I don't have to worry about fan noise or anything. It stays pretty quiet. It illuminates the scene the way I need it to illuminate. And I can, if I need for another one, I can buy another one without having to break the bank for it. A lot of times when you're buying video equipment, it is really easy it's really easy to overspend on stuff you don't need. My advice is, if you need it, buy it cheap, see how it works. And then if you need to upgrade, you absolutely can. You don't have to spend through the nose for this stuff, is what I'm saying. Because a lot of times, you're going to have plenty of options when it comes to buying equipment. So I'm going to show this to you. Now, these lights are a lot older, and these were my first lights here. So I'll share the screen with you again. I bought these in 2017, and it's been one of my workhorses. It's not as good as the light I just showed you, but if you're just getting started, you can buy a pair of these and really have some good outcomes with them, as long as you get familiar with how to use them. So it was a 2-pack. It was a newer, these are unavailable. I know there's an updated version of them, but there's a newer 2-pack bicolored light. And so it's fluorescent and incandescent lighting. And you can kind of tune it to fit your needs in the space. I like them. There's, like I said, there's a newer update of them. That's going to cost you a little bit more, but this company has done, a lot of my lighting, and I can't even say them, newer. I use them just as my first line, because the stuff doesn't cost a lot. I can test out and see if it works. If it works, great. If not, I didn't spend a heck of a lot of money on it. I could upgrade really fast. But you should be able to find a newer version of these. Remember, I bought these in 2017. So it is what it is. All right. Back to the stream. All right. So camera, talked about lighting, microphones. Now I'm gonna try to pick this up and not disrupt too many things. So if I knock over something, just be prepared for me to shine the little thing that says we're having technical difficulties. But what I bought here is, this is my Zoom PodTrack 4, and it is basically my audio interface and recorder. So it fronts as a audio interface, but I can also use it as a digital recorder. It's made just for podcasting. And so it has 4 XLR inputs. So I can put 4 different mics on it, and have up to a 4-person shoot with 1 person on the phone, because it has interface on the side where I can plug in a cell phone and capture audio from that. I have that going right into my Chromebook. For a long time, I was using my old Dell computer that I use for video editing. That one was becoming a pain to lug around. And to be quite honest with you, since I do most of my video editing on that, if something happened to that computer, I would be hurt pretty bad. So I keep my video editing computer at the house, and I have a little Chromebook that I'm using to, as the interface of the computer interface to run the camera and the digital recorder off of. I just have little adapters that convert everything to USB-C. And so that's what I'm utilizing. But this Zoom recorder, you probably can get it for like $160. It's been a beast for me, and you can run it off of plug-in power, or you can just put batteries in it. Either way, it's a beast for podcasting, because if you're just doing audio podcasting, you can just throw it in your bag, throw a couple of mics with it, and just run and shoot with it. It's really clutch, and saves me from having to freight around my big audio interface that I have at the house, because I have a mixing board at the house, and that isn't nearly as convenient as just having a dedicated audio interface and recorder to capture audio. And the audio sounds pretty clear. And when I bought this Zoom PodTrack, I actually got this Zoom mic you see right here. I have a couple of other Audio Technica mics that they run off XLR power, or they can run off USB power. They're pretty good, but I like the sound coming out of the Zoom one, and this is actually the cheapest mic I have in my setup. I got this for like $70. My other 2 were like 90. But this one, it comes with the headphones that I'm wearing, and it gives me pretty much a full setup just to do an audio-only podcast. But then I throw a camera on with a couple of capture cards, and now I have a video one. Now, the reason why I was late with the live stream is I'm still trying to figure out a way to take my audio setup and make it completely wireless. So what I have here are these Rode Video Mic Go 2s. These are wireless and they're really dope because this main one here acts as the recorder and it captures from both of these. And so it records on here, it records on the microphones. Plus, if I have it plugged into a camera, it also puts the audio onto the camera source. And I've used these on shoots, and I even have a little wireless connection, a lav mic that I can put on there, and I can get some pretty high quality sound with it. So I'm pretty pleased with these. I've seen a lot of people utilizing. If you've ever seen the ones that are popular on YouTube and stuff like that, the interviews on the street where they're holding that little black plastically looking mic, what it is, it's one of these Rode wireless ones, and you can buy little plastic cases that you can put them into and make it more like a traditional interview style mic. So these are very versatile little mics, and I've been trying to figure out how to plug this into my Zoom recorder, and playing around with it. I think I have a setup figured out, but I didn't want to roll it and risk having poor audio or mismatched audio for a show. So I might, and I'll give you an update if I can figure out a better way to incorporate these wireless mics. So I have a wireless setup, so I'm not beholden to just this mic here. But this is the one I use now for stuff. And this is more. I don't know if this goes into the live stream. This is my main workhorse camera when I'm recording sporting events and stuff out in the public. It doesn't have straight streaming capabilities, which is a downside, but I know the newer version of this does. And this is an Osmo Pocket. This is a Pocket Cinema camera, which is a camera and integrated gimbal. And so basically what this does is it allows me to shoot footage and it's 100% stabilized. I don't have to do anything after the fact to stabilize it. It doesn't need any gyroscopic data or anything. I don't have to upload the files to I know Sony has a little thing that they have for their cameras where it stabilizes the footage and crops it. This automatically does it. I can throw a mic on it and get good audio. I can use my wireless setup and put a wireless mic on somebody, and the audio goes straight into the camera. It has a little stand, it has a battery. Basically, it's an extension rod that has a battery in it so that I can, put a little tripod stand on it, stand it up, and I can control the head of this with my phone so I can, track subjects with my phone. It's a really powerful camera. I am waiting on them to come out with a third version of this. Otherwise, I'm going to be buying the Osmo Pocket 2 used because I love this little camera. And it fits right, and it's not joking when I said it fits in my pocket. So this is what I use when I'm out and about and I need to get good footage. And it doesn't take up a heck of a whole lot of space. And when one of them got damaged, I bought another one for $150. For $150. So you can't beat this in terms of like the quality I can get out of it. 4K, 60 frames a second. It has all the DJI recording science in it that they use in their drones and stuff. Really solid little camera. And like I said, the newer version, Osmo Pocket 2, I think that has streaming capabilities so that we can use this in a live stream. So when I bite the bullet and decide that they're not going to drop the Osmo Pocket 3, I'm buying the Osmo Pocket 2 because it has streaming capabilities. Another one is the Osmo Action, which is more or less Osmo's version or DJI's version of a GoPro that has streaming capabilities. And I had one until I traded it for another camera. So, and that one worked out pretty well. I just wasn't utilizing it. And hindsight being 2020, I probably could have held on to it for a little bit longer, figure out if I could incorporate it in my streaming workflow. But, you live and you learn. But if I ever change cameras, it will be to an Osmo Pocket just because I am so impressed with the way that they put this little camera together. It is so versatile and doesn't cost a lot of money to get into. And if you've ever seen any of the footage from like a Coach Mo Athletics thing. That I typically record our camps, I record practices, I record our basketball academy utilizing this one. So, but if I can find the streaming version of this, even better. You can make it stream, but I don't trust the software, third-party software that you got to download to make that actually a streaming webcam. So that's what I have. Like I said, the headphones and the microphone came together, and that was like an $80 purchase. And you're going to want decent quality headphones so that you can make sure your audio sounds right. Am I leaving out anything? I don't think I am. The last thing with workflows. So what I normally do is I come in and record the live stream on Tuesday. And that's where I dump all my thoughts out into about what I want to talk about for the week. Once the live stream is recorded, I go into StreamYard. And StreamYard captures all that stuff, and I can download the audio and video of the live stream. And the next thing I do is it's an app that I found, and it's an incredible AI app. So if you have any kind of hesitation about utilizing AI, this part probably ain't for you. But this app is called Opus Clip. It's called Opus Pro. So it's opus.pro. And so I'm going to share my screen with you and kind of show you what this is. And normally I have a video queued up that I could show you so I can drop it in there, but I'm not going to have enough time to drop the video and have it process it, but I will explain what it does. So let me go ahead and share my screen. This Opus Pro allows me to capture video, dump it into this online platform, and then it just takes that video and chops it up into things for TikTok and Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts. An amazing little feature. And now it's even added the capability of chopping it into longer form videos that I can utilize on other platforms. And so I have yet to play around with that. $19 gets you 2 hours worth of footage uploads. As you can see, I am on. I have 8 hours. So I've dropped some money in here, but for the amount of content I record, it's totally worth it. And so I record something. I can either drop the link for the YouTube or Google Drive, or I can just upload the video file directly to it. And then what it spits out is this. So let's see. Why don't I do the last podcast I did? So this is the last live stream I did, talking about ADHD and being a business owner. And so what this does is I drop the footage in here and it captions it. As you can see, it captions stuff.
Try out a new venture, realize you don't necessarily
gives
like
me,
that new venture.
It also transcribes it so that I can drop this into ChatGPT and basically say, make this what I said in this video, make my exact words into a video caption. So I'll take it over to ChatGPT and tell it exactly to do that, and it'll spit out a video caption. I normally have to adjust it a couple times and rewrite some stuff by hand, and a lot of times I say keep the same tone of voice because ChatGPT still does very kind of the prose is really weird. But so what I'll do is I drop the video in there. Once it's done, it spits out, this was a hour and 13-minute long live stream I did. And let's see, I got 32 videos, 32 short form videos that I can just download and drop in as Instagram Reels or TikToks or whatever. And so I'll tell it, download this video. So I'll download the video, then I'll copy and paste the transcript into ChatGPT. And sometimes I'll say, utilize these keywords or emphasize these specific points. Or sometimes I'll be saying, put a call to action for them to, check out more content at this place, this, that, and the third. And so this allows me to really streamline my video production service because for my own business ventures, because I can record it once, drop it in here, and get 30 clips that I can repurpose as much as I want to. Really a dope thing. It saves a ton of time. I can't express, because it would have taken for me to make 32 clips out of a video. You're talking about, 8 to 10 hours, plus getting the transcript down and stuff like that, and all that other stuff. It streamlines the process a ton. And so I can't emphasize enough how great Opus Pro is at allowing you to repurpose content, record it once, use it forever. There's one more AI thing that I'll tell you about. It's called Descript. I use that to edit my videos for the first run. So I have multiple video softwares that I use to edit videos. The only reason I have multiple ones is because I don't like Descript's interface when it comes to doing lower thirds and overlays and motion graphics and stuff like that. It can do it, but I don't like it. And so I still do use the Adobe suite of stuff. I'm actually trying to figure out if it's worth the price of just paying up for DaVinci Resolve and, drop the $300 and have a lifetime subscription to DaVinci Resolve. So I don't have to keep paying $59 a month to Adobe, because it's not cheap. But anyway, I use Descript, and Descript is a video editor that is based on, so it's a video editor, but the way it edits video is you drop a video in there and it transcribes the video, and then your edits are based on what you delete out of the transcribed piece, and then it stitches the video back together and makes it pretty seamless. And so it makes editing a video for a first pass very easy, because I can say remove the filler words every time I say or or repeat a word or stumble over a phrase. I can tell it to remove repeated words or filler words, and then I go through and give it a listen. And if I get off on a tangent that's not exactly related, I can just highlight it, delete it, and it's out of my video. Then I take it and drop it into a video editor, and actually, if I want to add lower thirds or anything like that, I can. I've kind of gotten away from adding that stuff, but like specifically with this video, I might do it. I might, just to show the bells and whistles of what I'm capable of, but it makes life really easy. And the script can upload directly to platforms if you allow it to. So it can directly upload to YouTube if you wanted to, and things like that. But right now, I just use it as my first draft video editor. The price point wasn't too bad. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's worth the price if you're looking for speed. And I've learned in business that you pay for things that allow you to work a little bit faster. And so that's why I pay for it. But like I said, for a first run video editor, it's great. I can just go through the transcript and delete all the ahs and ums and everything. And I don't have to, because it makes it a lot faster, because if I'm doing it with just a regular video editor, I got to watch it, figure out exactly where to make this cut, try to figure out a way to make it seam together and stuff like that. With the script, delete that word. I said the 3 times. Delete 2 of those does. I delete 2 of them, and it just flows. So it makes life a lot easier. And I would use it if they upgrade their interface a little bit to make it a little bit more user friendly with lower thirds and things like that add a more professional sheen to videos. But those are the tools I use. So in short, I come in, sit down, turn on my live stream equipment, get my lights arranged in the way I need to. I normally have them sitting exactly where I needed to have them. Turn on the camera, jump into StreamYard, give the show a title, pick what channels I want to show it on, blah, blah, blah. Record it on the live stream posts to all these other places. Then I go back in, I download the live stream, and then I chop it up, either for a podcast episode or YouTube channel video. Or if I want to use shorts to promote it, so normally I do that. And so I'll drop it into Opus, and it chops up into shorts. And then I can also take the longer video and chop it and make it into a longer form video. But it's edited and has, color grade on top of it and stuff like that. And that's how I roll. It makes life a lot easier. And the technology is making it easier to edit videos. It's not going to replace video editors. I don't want people to think that. You're not going to be able to fully replace the process of actually going and editing a video, because even with these AI tools, they're not 100% perfect. And so you still might have to do some video editing, but it just makes the process a little bit more accessible to regular people. Like if you're running a business or something, you may not have time to spend, 8 to 10 hours chopping an interview up that you did on a video podcast. But if you have the link to that video podcast, you can drop it in Opus Pro, and it'll chop it up into bite-sized videos that you can use to promote your product or service. And so it makes life that easy. And so that's the connection. That's what I'm really going for. And so you see my workflow. If you have any questions about anything, give me a shout. I can nerd out about lenses and all the other stuff if you want. And I can always take a deeper dive with specific stuff about camera and camera settings and things like that if you want. But that's all I have for today. I got to get to running. Thanks for tuning in. I will talk to y'all later. And then I'm going to chop this video up, and you'll probably see bits and pieces of it on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. And then I'll chop this up, and I'll chop it again and make it a full, a long form YouTube video. So that's what I got. I'll talk to you later. We're going to be recording again here with Les. We're going to be talking about, the challenges of marketing a business. So that's what we have on the next episode of the Unstuck Sessions podcast. And I'm really looking forward to it, because we're going to be talking about the hurdles that he had to overcome running a creative business in terms of marketing, like what marketing difficulties he had getting started, what marketing difficulties he's having currently, and how he overcomes those on a daily basis. Because marketing creative services is a little bit different than just regular products or services. Because there is a level of education, and people don't quite understand what it takes to create, a website or a flyer, or T-shirt, or even video, social media posts, things that actually that require somebody to be creative. People don't understand actually how much work that actually goes into that stuff. So it was going to be dope to talk to Les again. He's one of my favorite guests on here. So that's what we're going to have on the next episode of the Unstuck Sessions, recording on Thursday. So, and hopefully I can have it up by this weekend. So I'll talk to y'all later. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.